one of the topics that perhaps some people don't want to talk about, but I think it is the 800-pound gorilla in the room, taxes. A lot of people have had an amazing 2021 year. Unfortunately, I think that means the IRS is going to have an amazing year as well, as little as they understand. So I want to inform people as much as I can and share information as much as I can. Before I do that, let me share some information as to who I am so that you feel comfortable in the information that I'm giving you. My name's Alex Roytenberg. My history, my background, approaching 20 years of tax accounting and finance. Got involved with crypto back in 2018, 2019, working with Give Crypto, nonprofit arm of Coinbase. We're currently working with, that currently says 250 clients. It's actually up to about 350, 400 clients within the crypto and NFT space. As you can imagine, we've had a lot of interest. We're also working with about 20 startups within the DeFi crypto space, creating their own tokens, creating their own spectrum. So we're definitely understanding what's going on there. We're also working with some of the DAOs that are coming up, making sure that they're fully compliant, both for taxes as well as for legality. I'm not an attorney, we're not lawyers, but we do raise questions as to like, hey, there might be an issue from a legal perspective, and recommend that you talk to an attorney about certain topics. And then the other thing that some people might know about, last week, myself and a couple individuals published the NFT tax guide in the form of an NFT. So that's been out and it's available. About a 30-page guide, which gives you high-level understandings and discussions as to how NFTs are taxed, what you should be aware of. So it's really guided for people to have an understanding. My biggest pet peeve is clickbait tax advice on all topics. There's a lot of things that don't apply to a lot of different individuals, but if you hear about it on TikTok or Twitter or something else where, hey, you don't have to pay taxes if you don't pull down the NFTs or cryptos down to your wallet, that's not really correct. So some of those things we get covered in the NFT tax guide. So the first question is, who needs to pay to the IRS? It's a relatively simple answer. If you own a green card, or if you have a green card or you're a passport holder, you're going to have to pay taxes. There are certain ways, Puerto Rico, some of the other ways that people are doing it to avoid US taxes, but the general answer is going to be, if you're a US citizen or a green card holder, you're going to have to pay taxes. Big question is that transaction taxable? The answer to that is, it depends, and it's not us trying to avoid giving you the answer. The reason it depends is that every single transaction does need to be looked at on a case-by-case situation in order to be able to give you the correct answer. But the answer is most likely going to be yes. Here's 3 examples of different transactions. And a lot of this depends on who you are and what you're doing in order to have that transaction. So the first example, you're an NFT artist. You created a project, you did a mint of 10,000 or you did a 1 of 1. You sold it, that's taxable as ordinary income because you are the one who's working for that product in order to generate it. So therefore, it's ordinary income, same as if you were to do a 1099 or a W-2. Next example, NFT collector. You bought a Bored Ape, you minted a project, something else of that nature. That is all considered to be capital gains. Then becomes the question, is it short-term or long-term? Then let's say you bought an ape, or you minted something, and you're a great friend and you want to give it to another friend as a gift. That is considered a non-taxable event, but it's also, you can't claim it as a loss. These are questions that we receive. That's why I wanted to put that up there. Yes? If your gift is too large in value, If it's over $15,000, it'd be subject to gift tax. Who is responsible for the tax return, filing taxes, and for whether or not it's correct? At the end of the day, doesn't matter if I sign the tax return or not, at the end of the day, the taxpayer signs the tax return under perjury. What that means is if there is an issue, you are ultimately responsible. Even if the accountant or lawyer tells you it's not taxable or gives you incorrect tax advice, you are responsible for the tax. And if it's not done correctly, there could be massive penalties and interest. Penalties and interest could be as large as 25% of the tax that's due, with interest on top of that of an additional 25% of the overall tax bill. Record retention, it's your responsibility as the taxpayer. In the eyes of the IRS, the way that they view it is, if it's income, it's taxable. If it's an expense, you're not required to take that deduction. So they will always report any audit changes or any proposed changes to your tax bill based on the gross amount. The other thing to be aware of or kind of worried about is, as platforms, Coinbase and some of the other Geminis, are going to be issuing 1099-Bs, for the vast majority of it, we are expecting them to be wrong. So you cannot simply go off of them to report your tax bill. You will most likely be over-reporting the taxable amount that's due on it. It is your responsibility to maintain records. A lot of it is easy because it's on the blockchain. If it's a DeFi, it's still your responsibility to maintain it. If the platform that you're using decommissions, gets shut down by a government or any other operation, it is still your responsibility to maintain those records. So key points. You have to pay taxes. It's not just due April 15th. It's due throughout the year. Make sure you pay your estimated taxes throughout the year. You want to avoid penalties and interest on that as well. States like California will charge you roughly 8% interest for not making your payments during the year. Whether or not it's taxable, it depends. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Make sure you're working with somebody that you know and make sure that they actually know crypto. And reminder again, at the end of the day, you, the taxpayer, is responsible for your taxes and your return. How to reach me? Website is nft.cpa. Email address, alex@nft.cpa. Twitter handle, the NFTCPA. And that QR code takes you directly to our website, which lets you to sign up and start the process to get us to work with you.